In this first session, we will work with the different types of shading using hard pencils, intermediate pencils, and soft pencils. Then we'll continue practicing how to shade geometric figures. This session will end with a drawing of a still life using different types of shading and also pencils and degrees of hardness and pressure. In this first session, we will observe that we have our pencils divided into three groups. The first group is of the H pencils, and these here are the B. The designation H refers to pencils being much harder. That is, if I exert a certain amount of pressure on this pencil, I will only reach a certain level. The higher the numbering, the harder the pencil will be. And therefore, the intensity of black will be lower. On the other side are pencils B. B refers to black. That means that the intensity of black will be much stronger because the mine is much softer. Watch. I am exerting the same amount of pressure I exerted with the H pencils. This is one of the softest, the 6B. And if you notice, both by cross-hatching or by staying and exerting the same amount of pressure, the shadow is even stronger. This one here is the middle pencil, the HB. With this, generally all types of sketches are made because it is one of that staying less and because it is quite visible. If you realize, we exert the same type of pressure and we have an intermediate level. For making sketches or drawing is very good. Even for making plots, allow us to reach a certain level of darkness. Now, about the cross-hatching or the staying. That refers to the types of shadow we can do to give volume and depth to our objects. For example, this is the 2H pencil and we are going to do a drawing pattern. Cross-hatching refers to using a large number of straight or diagonal lines to generate volume. This is a drawing pattern or cross-hatching. I am superimposing diagonal lines to vertical ones. And of course, we must also take into account the amount of pressure we exert on the pencil. Another way to shade is stain. In order to stain, the position of the pencil is very important. When we have it very vertical, we can see that the pen tip is doing the cross hatching. This is valid if it is what you want. But if you want your drawing not having such texture that we get by cross hatching with pencil on paper, what we have to do is tilt the pencil. The greater the inclination, the less texture we leave out of the paper. I also want to tell you that this sketchbook has a texture suitable for drawing because it is not smooth, so the pencil is not going to slip. We may not only use the stain as a way of shading, but also mix it with a cross-hatching drawing pattern or the lines that we had previously used to create a little more volume. All of this with the pencil's H. We use pencils B for plotting or cross-hatching. If you realize, here there is much more intensity. And it is with a 6B pencil that we achieve higher levels of intensity. And with this we can get also much more volume with the objects that we will draw later. Something important is that you feel comfortable with the material you are working with. We can shade, as you can see, the spots or stains, if you realize, are much more easier to make. And if we press the pencil even more, we can get much more intensity. And of course, we can also mix both styles. Later, we will use and test the types of shading we have learned now. This is the HB. We see, for instance, that the intensity is not very strong. I am not squeezing very much, but if I want to strengthen the intensity, I will superimpose the cross-hatching drawing pattern. Do not worry if the pattern does not fit exactly as you want. You can use shorter lines that go in different directions. I invite you to continue with the next class.